So you're thinking about moving to San Diego, California, but you don't necessarily want to live in San Diego. That's right, you don't want to live in downtown San Diego, and you're the type of person that likes the suburbs a lot more. In this video, I'm gonna go over the top 5 suburbs here in San Diego because there's always people relocating here from other parts of the country, and they're curious on what area is gonna fit their lifestyle best. So that's exactly what I wanna cover for you guys to help you guys make a better decision. And we're gonna do a couple things, and I'll start off by talking about each suburb. I'll talk about the good stuff, some of the bad stuff, and give you a good overview. And then we'll actually hop in my car and I'll get you nice and up close and personal with some of these neighborhoods so you can see what they look like. Let's go ahead and get after it now. Welcome back. If this is your first time here and you like to know more about San Diego real estate and life here in San Diego, make sure you tap that subscribe button below. My name is Nick, and you guys reach out every day and I love it. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, a year, make sure you reach out because I'd love to save you a lot of time and help you make a smooth move here to San Diego. Now, as I mentioned, we're gonna talk about these top 5 suburbs here in San Diego, and these are gonna be the most popular and the most searched cities here in San Diego. So I want to help you guys make a better decision and help you kind of narrow down those options. So I hope this helps, but let's jump right into it. All right, so let's start off with number 5, which is going to be Clairemont. Now, Clairemont is in such an awesome location, and as you can see on the map right here, it's literally surrounded by freeways. So just to the west, you have the 5 freeway, just to the north, you have the 52, to the east, the 805, and to the south, you're gonna have the 8. So you have freeways all around you, which is great for accessibility. So if you have to commute very often, this could be a great location for you. And not to mention, you're only about 10 to 15 minutes from downtown San Diego where the airport is. And you're also, 10 to 15 minutes from the ocean if you wanna have a quick beach day. You're 5 minutes from Mission Bay, so you got some water sports in there. You have SeaWorld and just a ton of things to do. So if you're a person that has to commute and drive downtown every now and then, or maybe you work down there or you're flying out a few times a month, I mean, Clairemont is going to be awesome for you. But with that, there is a negative thing about it. In Clairemont, a lot of these homes, you're going to have condos, you're going to have single family homes, you're going to have townhomes, but a lot of these homes, especially the single family homes, were all built back in the 50s all the way up to the 80s. So you're going to have some older homes, but you have about 5 to 6 different neighborhoods to choose from in Clairemont. So, the options are gonna vary, but be prepared that most of these homes are gonna be older. Some have been completely renovated and some are all original. So keep that in mind, but let's go ahead and jump in the car so I can show you around right here. So Clairemont has a population of about 85,000 people, and it's also home to many bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks. And about 58% of residents own their home while 42% rent. The median household income sits at about $100,000, and schools are rated a B+ in the Clairemont area. The median price for a home is about $840,000, but you can find condos for as low as $500,000 or some really beautiful homes with ocean views well into the $2 million price point. So now we'll move on to number 4, which is going to be Carmel Valley. Now, Carmel Valley is about 15 minutes north of Clairemont, which we just spoke about, and it's about 30 minutes from downtown San Diego. So you're a little bit further north, but you're still really close to the ocean. You're only about 10 minutes from here, and it has a lot going for it. It is a master plan community, so a lot of these neighborhoods and communities within Carmel Valley are gonna have an HOA, but it's nice to see because all these homes are very well manicured and they're very well taken care of, which ultimately leads to higher prices, and prices just keep going up over here. And I think my favorite part is you can find some pretty good walkability here. You're gonna have 2 really big shopping centers. You're gonna have, well, first off, you have Pacific Highlands, which is a big shopping center, but you're also gonna have one Paseo, and you're gonna have the Del Mar Highlands. So these are 2 huge shopping centers with a ton of upscale restaurants. You have some shopping, you have some boutiques, you have grocery stores, you have Skydeck, which you're gonna have a open air food market. So you have choices there, and it's a great place to go grab a beer and bring some friends and have a good time. So that's kind of the highlight and the good stuff about Carmel Valley. But with all that good stuff leads to a little bit of bad because the affordability here is very tough. Now, you can find a townhome, you can find a condo, you're gonna probably be pushing up around that $800,000 to $900,000 price range, sometimes a little bit lower, but it's gonna be more of like an apartment complex feel. But you're also gonna have some very, very high-end homes here, up to 2 million, 3 million, even 4 million in some areas of Carmel Valley. So we have some really good schools in Carmel Valley, so that's something to note as well. But let me drive you around real quick so you can get up close and personal with it. So Carmel Valley is about a 10-minute drive to the beach and very centrally located here in San Diego. Carmel Valley also has a population of about 32,000 people, and about 69% of residents own their home while 31% rent. And the median household income is $175,000. Public schools are highly sought after and rated an A+, and the median price for a home is $1.4 million. But you can find condos for as low as $750,000 or some newer constructed single-family homes well into the millions. Number 3 is going to be Carlsbad, and I definitely can't leave Carlsbad off the list because it has a lot going for it as well. I mean, it has one of the best school systems in all of California, and according to niche.com, it's actually ranked number 2 for having the best public school system in all of the United States. So that's huge. That's something to note because that's always going to keep people coming here, and that's always going to keep values up in Carlsbad. That's just one great thing about Carlsbad. There is just so many things going for it. I mean, you have some great master plan and custom home options as far as a home goes. It is a pretty big city for the most part, so you're going to have a lot of options. And, with that being said, you have some great trails, you have some great parks. I mean, you have some great shopping, restaurants, you have everything in Carlsbad. It almost is a place that you really don't need to leave. You can be just inside that bubble and have everything you could possibly need. And not to mention, those beaches are some of the best beaches in all of San Diego. But, with that being said, there is going to be a couple negative things because, during these summer months here in Carlsbad, it gets so crowded. I know Carlsbad sees about 3 million visitors in just a 4-month span in the summertime. So if that's something you can't handle, because even if you're not on the beaches, that's where most of the crowds are going to be during the summer months. I mean, you're still going to be dealing with it, even if you're a little bit inland, because the freeway is going to get a little bit more packed. You're going to see traffic throughout the day. Shopping's going to be a little bit more hectic. So those are some things you should probably know if you consider it. And, the price point is going to be a little bit higher there. It's well over $1 million for the average home price there, but you can find condos as low as $600,000. So you have some great options there, but let's go ahead and let me drive you around. Carlsbad is one of the largest cities in all of San Diego County with a population of about 115,000. Carlsbad is also known for its great accessibility to restaurants, beaches, and shopping, while about 63% of residents own their home and 37% rent. The median household income is about $113,000, and the public schools are some of the best in all of San Diego and are rated an A+. The median price for a home is $1.25 million in Carlsbad, but you can find condos for as low as $600,000. Next on our list is going to be San Marcos. Now, San Marcos is definitely a gem in San Diego, and the worst part about it is how far it is from downtown San Diego and the airport, because it's one of the most inland cities that we're talking about, and it's still only about 30 minutes from the ocean. So it's really not that far. But if you're a person that has to commute, down south, or you have to go to downtown San Diego, or you got to fly pretty often, this might be too far because, like I said, 45-minute drive, you have to do that a couple times a week. Especially with traffic, I mean, you're looking at over an hour drive. So that might be a little bit too much. But if that doesn't bother you, definitely look into San Marcos because it is a great city. It's got a really good public school system. It has some really good neighborhoods like Santa Leo Hills. You have Lake San Marcos, Discovery Hills. And a lot of these homes are going to be built in 2000 and newer. So you can't really find that very often in San Diego, but here in San Marcos, you're going to have a lot of options for that. And you have a ton of townhome options, which is great too. So if your price point is lower, you can find something, around $600,000, $700,000 for a condo. So the average price point is a little bit lower than some of these other cities, and it's growing, which is awesome too. So let's go ahead and jump in the car and let me show you around. So San Marcos has a population of about 96,000 people, and San Marcos is a really great place for families, empty nesters, and young professionals. And most of these communities were actually built in 2000 and newer. About 63% of residents own their home, while 37% rent, and the median household income here in San Marcos is $86,000. Public schools are rated an A, and the median price for a home is about $825,000, but you can find condos for as low as $550,000. And that's going to take us into our final and our best suburb here in San Diego, which is going to be, let me actually get a drum roll for this. It's going to be Oceanside. Now, Oceanside might sound very familiar, and it should, because one of the most famous movies of all times was filmed there, which was Top Gun with Tom Cruise. So several clips in that movie were actually filmed in Oceanside, which is really cool. And they actually finally made use of the Top Gun house that was constantly on a trailer, and they were just moving it around in different areas, and they finally renovated it and they made it a pie shop and coffee shop, which has some really good pies. They're like these little Pop-Tart pies, but they're really good. So what I'm trying to say is just one of the many attractions and things to do in Oceanside, and it's just growing so much. I mean, over the years it's changed dramatically, and even when I was growing up, Oceanside didn't have the best rap to it, but it's definitely changed, and I feel like so many people are going up there and moving there because the price point is a lot lower than its neighbor, which is going to be Carlsbad, and you have pretty much the same amenities. Schools might not be as good, but you're still a coastal town and you still have plenty to do, and you have a ton of new shops that are always popping up. You have some really good food choices and restaurant choices there in Oceanside, especially, you know, if you're young or if you're young at heart. I mean, definitely look into Oceanside. I would highly advise it because it's going to be a great place to call home, and it's only getting better. So those are huge things to look at. I think one of the negative things about it is, you know, you're going to have a far drive if you're going to be commuting down south, because it's one of the last towns in San Diego County before you head up into Orange County in Los Angeles. So it's going to be that 45 to an hour drive to downtown San Diego, depending on traffic. So if that's something you have to commute to very often, you know, San Diego or Oceanside probably is not going to be the best fit for you. But if that doesn't bother you, definitely look into it. Now let's jump in the car and let me show you around some of these neighborhoods. Oceanside has a population of 175,000 people, and Oceanside is really just a great area for just about everyone and has a very laid-back vibe. There's numerous neighborhoods throughout Oceanside for every walk of life, so whether you're a first-time home buyer or an investor or starting a family, there's going to be something there for you. About 57% of residents own their home, while 43% rent, and the median household income is about $75,000. Public schools are rated a B+, and the median price for a home is $763,000, but you can find condos for as low as $500,000, or if you're looking for something closer to the beach or oceanfront, they have that too, well into the multi-millions. So that's going to wrap up the top 5 suburbs here in San Diego. Like I said, these are going to be the most popular and most searched cities of San Diego. But, you know, it's always going to come down to what your situation is, what your lifestyle is looking for, your commute, your budget. All these things take place. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, a year, make sure you reach out, because I'd love to save you a ton of time and just have a talk and figure out, you know, what your needs are so we can help you find the best neighborhood. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I do a ton of videos, vlog style, map style, pretty much everything to help you guys make a more informed decision. So make sure you check those out, and definitely consider subscribing if you want to see more great content like this, because I'll be putting out more every single week. So I will see you guys in the next video.